What's up, everybody? Welcome to my garage. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all crushing life. And today, we're gonna crush life. We're gonna take apart one of my vehicles. Yes, let the modifications begin. It's a rainy day, which is totally fine because we're gonna be working in the garage all day. Hopefully. Well, hopefully we get to drive at the end. We're done. You know what? Actually, I was all teed up to take the R8. We got to go get some tools to do this project because we're going to work on the R8. But I just washed the R8. I don't want to go driving in the wet and dirty and muck and stuff and then work on it. So we got to pull the R8 back in the garage. We're going to take a different car, which is an absolute bummer because I haven't driven the R8 much recently and I've been dying to drive it, and today was going to be the day. But once you start taking it apart, you know me, I may not drive this thing again for a month as it sits in pieces in my garage. So, life decisions, am I right? Really wanted to drive the R8 today, like properly. It's gonna be a month. I just know it. We're not gonna take the Ferrari because it's raining or gonna rain, so I guess we'll take the Shelby F-150. Sometimes in life we just don't get to do what we want every time, right? We'll be quick though. We're gonna try O'Reilly Auto Parts first because obviously. Yeah, we're gonna start on the passenger side. Always start on the passenger side because less people use this side. I watched a video of what to do and hopefully that's enough. First, we've got to remove this carbon fiber bit. This is gonna go back on, but we need to get this off to get this off, I believe. Whoa. Now, I don't want to speak too soon, but frankly, this is going fairly smoothly. But this is why I always go to 218 because it's so much easier to just throw it on a lift. And this is just uncomfortable. I'm getting too old for this. Oh, that's 3, baby. Woo, we're rolling. All right, I just took out a bunch more screws underneath not for this piece, but that attached to this piece way back under here. So I'm hoping we just kind of pull it off now. Situation we got here. Look, folks, I'm abandoning this project, and I know they say when you're struggling, persevere, stay strong, you can do this and all that positive stuff. I agree, and I've made decent progress, and I feel like I could get this done. But I've also learned something else in my life, and that is if you have experts in your life or people that have certain skills and abilities that are different than yours, and you're able to utilize those skills and abilities to move forward in life further and faster, then you should utilize those skills and abilities. I'm never going to become an expert at putting carbon fiber on an R8. So why don't I get the experts involved? Plus, it'll be more entertaining to watch me work on that with experts versus by myself. That part I can guarantee. So on that note, we're gonna get this thing buttoned up, and in fact, I'm gonna order some more parts for this thing, and so when we do work on it, we're gonna actually have a bigger modification and change to this vehicle than we would have at the start of this video. For now, we're actually gonna go say goodbye to yet another vehicle. Yes, I'm getting rid of one more vehicle. Let me wash my hands and I'll show you. This video is sponsored by KSL Cars, which I'm excited about and I appreciate. Now, first and foremost, I'm super excited to work with KSL. KSL has been part of my life, frankly, ever since I was born. I'm a Utah local, born and bred, and KSL Classified KSL Cars is something I've always used since the days they printed those things on actual paper. Obviously, the fact that KSL Cars is now online is not the news. That's not news. They've been online for a long time. I'm just letting you youngins know like how it used to be back in the day and also how long KSL has actually been around. Because yes, I've been using KSL Cars, KSL Classifieds for over 30 years, online and in paper. Almost forgot to close the garage. Oh. Now, I recently listed my 2020 Challenger Hellcat on KSL Cars, and the process, like always, was super easy. It was easy to upload the pictures, fill in the description, enter the vehicle information, and so forth. And then even my information can still be somewhat private, even though I'm doing a public listing, which I've always liked. And I've always liked the fact that you're selling to fairly local individuals. It makes the process so much easier for them to come look at the car, do PPIs and all that stuff. Just being local makes it so much easier. And with my Hellcat, honestly, I hope someone local buys it as well, because I'd love to see that beast on the road. And the new car that we're going to be selling, yep, that listing just went live on KSL Cars as well. So go ahead and hit the link below and check out my listing. And while you're there, go ahead and check out what else is listed on their site, because they have everything from daily drivers to performance vehicles to collectibles and so forth. They got it all on KSL Cars. It's where locals buy and sell cars. It's part of the culture here. Big thanks again to KSL for sponsoring this video and giving me a great place to list my vehicles for sale, which include the 2020 Shelby F-150. Yeah, we're saying goodbye. So click the link in the description below to see this listing, or feel free to browse other vehicles while you're there. Pick and span, baby. We should go air dry, but we have a special guest. Ran into my pops at the car wash. We just had similar timing today. That thing's got like 300,000 miles, by the way. So yeah, my dad and I are different. He keeps a car forever, and I keep selling them. How many miles? 232,000 miles on this, and yeah, we're very different in that sense. Parts of me wish I could be like that, but then I have a vehicle and I'm like, all right, let's trade it out for something different. So, I don't know. I'm just gonna let you know that this video is telling everyone I'm selling my Shelby F-150. No. So, it's official, it's happening. No. Yes, we're getting rid of it. I know. I may need to borrow this actually a lot because I'm not gonna have anything. This is your son letting you know I may need from time to time to borrow your vehicles. Okay. Yeah. See that disappointment? Yeah, he'd like me to go 300,000 miles in that too, but oh well. I mean, this thing sounds good. It's a classic 4x4. You know what's impressive too? My dad's in his 70s. You wouldn't know it by looking at him. Yeah, that's a 70-year-old man right there. 73, 74, something like that. He's doing well for himself. I love it. My dad just texted me. He corrected himself. The 4Runner actually has 273,000 miles on it. He's had it most of the time. He didn't buy it new. He bought it used. Now, before you say anything, meat and rice is on my approved hard bodies meal plan. I don't try to get hard bodies for like every meal replacement, but I am eating meat and rice effectively every meal. 2 weeks now, going strong, dropping the LBs. I feel like I need to be the Mobetta spokesperson for like weight loss and muscle gains and so forth. There's a reason I took you all out on my mundane tasks that I had to do today, and that was to show how big of a deal it is going to be to sell the Shelby F-150. The Shelby F-150, aside from being able to do so many fun things off-road, big adventures, road trips and so forth that I've done. I've gone to Glacier National Park, Yellowstone, the Grand Tetons. I've taken this truck all over. I've done massive donuts in dirt parking lots, which don't undersell that. It's still a blast. And it's my day-to-day like chore task getter, right? Like I don't want to throw salt in my R8 or my Ferrari. The Mustang GT350, yeah, I'll probably throw the salt back there, but losing this vehicle is going to be a big deal. And for those of you that are going to say, well, use the Mustang EV, the Mach-E, right? My wife's vehicle. But when this is gone, the Mach-E will be my wife's main vehicle, right? She's not going to jump in the Audi with baby B because there probably won't be a car seat in it. So she's going to be stuck. So I'm not going to be taking the Mach-E to do all these chores and stuff because she's going to need it at home with baby B. I know that may sound like just a little bit of an inconvenience or first world problems, but here's the reality. The reality is if I didn't have any of my vehicles and I only had one like a normal person, it would be the Shelby F-150 because it checks so many boxes. So to be selling this is just backwards, honestly. Now there are a few reasons of why I've decided to sell this vehicle, even though I absolutely love it. First and foremost, it's $1,150 a month, which is a lot of money, and I can continue to make the payments. I'm doing fine in that sense, but the reality is that is a lot of money that I could put towards other projects or new vehicles. And because of YouTube and all of you, and just because of what I've become, I enjoy mixing vehicles up and getting different vehicles. So that $1,150 can go towards my existing projects or new vehicles, a different vehicle. Some of the replacement vehicles that I actually have in mind for this vehicle are They're, I would say they're not practical. They can check some boxes, but they're definitely not going to check all the boxes of a Shelby F-150. In fact, most would argue it'd be a poor financial decision. And so because of that, probably going to do that, but I'm not going to do that immediately. I'm going to wait a little while, but I do have to re-emphasize this vehicle right here is probably the most amazing, the most perfect stock vehicle that exists. The blue with the white stripes is just epic. In my mind, this is absolutely perfection. And I can tell you, having perfection in my life has been amazing. So if you want perfection in your life, check the link below, look at the listing, hit me up, let's do a deal. Now I do still have the Bronco, obviously. I've just been very particular about what to do with that vehicle. Like I keep listing it for sale, but I don't really want to sell it. But I could use the money to pay for the modifications, but I don't really need it. But it'd be nice to have, but I do love this. And so if I do sell, well, when I do sell the Shelby F-150, having this would be kind of nice because it is paid for. Don't necessarily know that I want to put a baby seat into this beast with baby B. I mean, I don't know, the safety in 1993 is not really what it was in 2020. You see my dilemma? I got so many reasons to not sell the Shelby F-150. Life decisions. Am I right? Now I'm going to give you all one more kind of psychological reason of why I'm selling the Shelby F-150, at least for the summer. You see, the F430 is rear wheel drive, GT350 is rear wheel drive, the Audi R8 obviously all wheel drive, summer tires, but I can put snow tires and it'd be amazing in the winter. But what happens is, more often than not, I find myself when I need to run an errand or get a task done or do this and that, I end up just jumping in the Shelby F-150 because it's easier, it's practical, more functional and so forth. And I don't really want to put the miles on these cars unnecessarily. But because of that, what ends up happening is I just don't drive these cars nearly enough because the Shelby F-150 is almost like a crutch, a reason not to drive these, not to put miles on them, not to get wear and tear on these vehicles. And I don't like that. I want to drive these more. I want to get in these smaller, tiny cars and go take them out to do the random things that I got to do in my life. And so Shelby F-150 gone, crutch is gone, and it's going to force me to put more miles on these vehicles, which I want to do anyways. And for those of you that are like, oh, I don't care what you say, if I had these cars and the truck, it wouldn't matter, I'd put every mile possible on these vehicles and so forth. Well, get used to having these vehicles and you will find that maybe you start using the truck as a crutch as well. At least that's what happened to me. So it doesn't really matter how you guys would do it because that's where I'm at, and that's why I'm making this decision. So I have to drive the R8, the F430, the GT350 more often. Now, the trick of it, one little issue that I'm gonna have is we're starting the build series on all three of these vehicles. So I'm gonna not be able to have all of them torn apart at the same time because I'm gonna have to be able to drive at least one of them at any given point. So I will have to be a little cautious about the build in the order in which I do these things, but I think I can manage that. Because just as you saw at the beginning of this video, this R8 is going in soon for some carbon fiber and another treat on top of that. The F430 I got plans for as well. I've got some bits already. We're ready to go on that. And the GT350, guess what? Surprise, we're not keeping it lead foot gray. That was just something so I could see all of the beauty of the gray, the lead foot gray, the black and the black all together. This, yeah, we're doing a full, we're gonna paint it, like for real, the whole thing. So I'm sorry to disappoint everyone that was excited about the lead foot gray. I was as well. I love the lead foot gray, but we're going bolder. We're going different. We're going one of one. That's what we're gonna do. And actually, you know what? Right on cue, look who showed up. Mr. Hardbodies himself. So I know a while ago we did a video about the Mach-E, and the reason we could buy it is because the Shelby F-150 could transport my wife's harp. But if I sell the Shelby F-150, I no longer have a vehicle to transport the harp. That's where this guy comes in. He has an F-150. He's already agreed to let that be the harp transporter vehicle. Yeah. So we're covered, we're good. Mrs. B is happy, we're all good. We can transport the harp that way. So
anything I can do for you. I thought you'd just get a roof rack off Wish and put it on the R8.
Well,
it'd be like 11 bucks.
Stay tuned on that. We got to get that next to the R8, Batman and Robin.
I think we need to do
Iron Man and Batman.
We'll figure it out.
Anyways, you want to buy a Shelby F-150? Ooh, sell your F-150, buy my Shelby F-150, and then it's like it never left, and I still have it. See how that works?
You are quite the salesman.
See how that works? Anyways, just hit the link below, go to my KSL classified ad, put an offer, and we'll talk. And if you want it,
sold yet?
You better beat them to it. I might not sell it anymore.
You want it now?
I want it. I've always wanted it. I just don't want to sell it. So,
dude, it's such a cool,
it's so cool.
Cool truck.
And there's no payment. It's free. And the Shelby F-150 costs $1,150 a month, and that money could go into the business that I'm doing. It's similar to the business the Hardbodies is doing. Stay tuned. I don't want to give away too much yet, but we both actually have some big projects going on.
I'm really excited for you. By the way,
we're excited.
Dude,
so
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
gonna do awesome.
Yeah, we're excited. I'm gonna keep walking in circles. He's
Goodbye.
gonna leave.
Goodbye
He
forever.
actually just came back from hard bodies. I'm going to hard bodies. We're working men without jobs. The man, the myth, the legend. Right there, baby. And on that news, I wish y'all nothing but the best of luck. Go crush it. Peace.